just going to show you today how to refreshen some grapes that are getting old and a little wrinkly, and the same thing with lettuce that's got wilty and saggy. I was pulling these out for dinner yesterday, and my kids said, oh, we don't want to eat those, they're kind of gross looking. I'll show you. They're just wrinkly and kind of old looking. And I said, oh, we just need to put them in some water for a minute and they'll perk back up. And they said they'd never heard that, and I was surprised I hadn't shown it to them. So and of course if there's any gross ones, you want to pull them off. Just go through, pull any that are really, really gross off, and then you just have the rest of them that are just kind of wrinkled. And then you fill a container. I would suggest a Tupperware with a lid if you're going to leave them in the fridge where maybe a kid would pull them down. You don't want the water spilled all over. So last night I threw them in the fridge with water on them, but I didn't cover it all because I didn't want it to spill in the refrigerator. So you can see the ones that are on the top and didn't get in the water are still wrinkly. Okay, then I flip them over, and the ones that are on the bottom look beautiful. And so this is the other thing I taught them. When you want people to eat things, I'll do this all the time and they don't realize I do this, is you just pretty it up. So with these, now that they're plump, and actually you could do it before you plump them up, there's just nobody wants to take a few grapes off of a bunch of sticks. So I was at a party one time and it looked like this, and I just pulled all the grapes off, rinsed them, stuck them on the counter just in the bowl, and they were gone within about 30 seconds. But the bowl had been looking like this for an hour before that. So I always try and make things look better when I'm going to want somebody to eat them. Same thing in the cupboard. When I have a chip bag and it's almost empty, if I leave it in the cupboard, it will never get finished. But if I pull it out and throw it in a bowl and put it on the counter, I'll just grab the size of bowl. It's funny because if I pick a big bowl and I put the little bunch in the bottom, nobody will eat it. But if I get a smaller bowl and dump what's left in the bigger bowl into the smaller bowl, people will eat it. So when I have a party, a large amount of people, I'll just take whatever bowl of, say I don't have any more of the barbecue chips and I want the barbecue chips to go, I'll just dump the bottom of the bigger bowl into a smaller bowl, and then people will eat them. And when that gets emptier, I'll just dump it into a smaller bowl and people will eat them. If you leave the bottom of the big bowl, it's funny, but psychologically nobody wants to eat the bottom of the bowl. So that's the same thing with grapes like this. So I would just pull all these grapes off and put them in a little Tupperware with a lid on it with some water. Keep it in the refrigerator, of course, because they'll mold and get nasty if you leave it out in warm air. And then you can see these are nice and plump and juicy, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with the ones that have been soaked. So, and they taste good, and now they're something somebody will eat. So I will just pull them all off, put them in a bowl, soak them in water overnight, just dump the water off, stick them on the table at dinner, and you'll be surprised they'll eat them. Okay, with lettuce, there's a couple different ways you can do it. This is actually comfrey, and I had it in a vase, but it wasn't. Comfrey tends to, from what I've noticed last couple of days, been using it for a couple of weeks, it seals itself off, and then when you put it in water, it doesn't absorb the water. For some reason, it kind of has a protective covering type of thing, and I kept cutting the bottoms off trying to get it to absorb the water, and it wouldn't. So what I did is I treated it like lettuce, and if you have a lettuce that's kind of wilted in the refrigerator, this is how you can perk it up for sandwiches or some other kind of thing. So you can see these, they were all like this. They're just kind of dehydrating and wilting and been too hot because I had them on the counter in the vase, and this is how they all looked this morning. So I once again put them in a container of water and let it soak up the water, and now it's nice and stiff. And this is one way, just putting it in a container of water, and you can see all of these are nice and firm now. They're not the wilting like they were this morning. So I would just, if you're going to leave them for more than a day, I would change out the water. You don't want it to get gross. And then just, dump out the water and put a little bit more in, and it will also keep, this has stems, so I'm trying to keep the stems fresh as well. So I would keep the stems in there. But with lettuce, you just put the leaves. The other way you can do it, if you don't have a lot of water, you don't have a lot of fridge space, and you don't want to have to use a container, is you can put get some paper towel, leaves of paper towel, and get them wet with cool water. Lay the paper towel down, then lay the piece of lettuce down, then layer another paper towel and more lettuce, so you can fill the whole paper towel with lettuce leaves, and then paper towel and lettuce leaves, so that you're using a little amount of water rather than soaking the whole thing in water. And that will also crisp up lettuce leaves for a salad or sandwiches. Say you're going to go somewhere where you're worried that the leaf might wilt. You're going to go on a picnic. Then you can put the cool water in the bag with the paper towels and keep the leaves of lettuce in between them in the zip baggie. Put it in the fridge overnight, and then just take that with you during the day. And the water in the bag will moisturize the leaves and keep them fresh, crisp instead of wilty like this. Because after a little while in the cooler or whatever, they get wilty like that. This one was on top and it didn't get in the water, so I just need to add some more water and crisp that one up. But it will crisp up just like the grapes did. Anyway, I was just sharing that because my kids had never learned that. I just did it automatically, and I guess I never shared with them that. So I figured I'd blog about that today. And check out my blog, thesecretisgratitude.com, or my YouTube channel, The Secret is Gratitude, on YouTube. Thanks for watching.